about childcare. The first 5 years of a child's life are critical for brain development of our young Hoosiers. Research shows that access to affordable, quality childcare can enable more people to work. To set the stage for Hoosier children's future educational success, how should families' access to high-quality care and learning opportunities be expanded?
Yeah, it is critical for our workforce, to just the family dynamics, to the success of the child coming into school with school readiness. I mean, there's so many layers of what an amazing investment. And I know in Indiana we shy away from it because of the expense, but study after study has proven that you get that money back in fourfold. And so we have got to approach that differently as far as what an amazing investment. You know, COVID did not help in this space. So right now we still have a third of our counties that do not have access to affordable, quality childcare, and that is unacceptable. We are in 2024, unacceptable. We're getting ready to turn over into 2025, and we still have so many of our families, even if they want to work, they don't have a safe place to take their children, or they can't afford it. It's cheaper to stay home than to go get a job because our wages aren't moving. And so there's a lot of pieces to that need to be addressed, and you have to have good, educated, specialized workers in that space. So dealing with a 3-year-old is different than when I taught 12-year-olds. It's just different. And so making sure that we are incentivizing programs to develop that workforce that would take care of our child care. The other piece of that is, you know, we still don't have universal pre-K that fits right in that space of that 0 to 5, and it's so incredibly important. We have kids coming into kindergarten, because remember, Indiana doesn't require kindergarten until they're 7. So we have kids coming into kindergarten in many of our districts that don't know colors from shapes, from numbers. I know I was in an affluent district in between Anderson University and Ball State University as a local superintendent. In kindergarten roundup, we'd have kids come in and they would not be potty trained, and so we're ready for kindergarten, and we're expecting kids to, you know, 2 kids that need potty trained in a classroom of 25, and you're moving on to the academic piece of it. So there is a huge need for it. The other piece I don't think we're talking about is that 0 to 3 language development. In the state of Indiana, we've got a long way to go for that 0 to 3 development as far as expressive language. You know, are they able to express appropriately, which I know at that age that's different, but it is still expressive language. And then receptive language. Are they being read to? Are they being talked to? And if you watch, go to a grocery store, go to a restaurant, parents are on their cell phone, or they hand the cell phone to their infant, you know, or the iPad, and it's that language barrier that we're seeing. And we're not alone, but where is that discussion? Because we can spend a ton of money on lots of great programs in K-12, but if we don't take care of the readiness space in 0-5 like other states are doing, we're going to be lagging. So let's be smart about it and invest with our tax dollars where they need to be invested, so we're saving on the other end. We have a stronger workforce, we have better school readiness, we have a better economy with, you know, people being able to work. There's so many benefits to it.
So I remember back 40 some years ago, Kimball's, a big company from Jasper, provided it. Then there, I think, were issues with, well, you didn't need it. There were enough enterprisers out there that, I remember when with 4 kids, taking them to maybe one place. That's pandemonium. That's not going to work. They probably entered into liability issues, and we got away from it. If we're going to tease more people back into the workforce, it's now real. I go back to visit our own school district about 6 to 9 months ago. They're providing childcare to get teachers and retain them. So we need, again, the entities that want workforce need to be willing to scramble to see how to do it. I don't think we want the state government to run it. We want to make sure that they've got a platform of regulations and guidelines that will make it easy. But I would say enterprising businesses that will be the beneficiaries of it need to get more involved in it. Businesses got to be careful. If they complain about taxes and too much government, but you still want it, you better start being innovative on your own account. That's the way I've run my business for 37 years before I got sworn in as senator. And that is something, even though 3 of my 4 kids are running it now, I think they're entertaining, and they'd want to make sure that they're not going to be fraught with complications that our own state would put in place, or being subject to, you know, maybe a legal system that would be looking for ways to make that difficult.
Well, that's that's a subject that concerns me, because one of the things that I hear from both the Republicans and the Democrats is that they want to expand universal pre-K. And I think the assumption is, well, you know, we need to provide this so more people can work. Well, not everybody wants to work. Some folks would like to stay home and actively take care of the development of those first 5 years of a child's life, not hand it over to the state of Indiana, because unfortunately, in my opinion, and what I've heard from, here again, both of my opponents, is that you know, they want to have more control over how your children are taught from not just kindergarten through 12th grade, but now from birth through 5 years old. I'm going to be very honest. That concerns me. That's not really the kind of thing, to me, in a free society that we want to get in the habit of doing. So I think here again, what we need to do is, if we're going to focus on how to make childcare affordable, we need to first of all look at what regulations we have created and what hoops childcare providers are required by state government to jump through in order to be a child care provider. It's very important that we make sure that we have some oversight to ensure that child care providers are providing good quality child care, that they're not neglecting or abusing children, and I understand that. But here again, we as a state government have created a habit of creating regulations that favor some and are really barriers to entry for others. And this is something that we have to analyze and do away with, because creating a barrier to entry so that there's less competition drives up prices. If we create more competition and we allow people to get into the, you know, here again, professional licensing and all of the things that go along with child care providers, I think then we can see a lowering of cost and making it more affordable for people. Because here again, the regulations, or over-regulation, if you will, is what drives up the cost. And government can't fix that, because government is causing that. Government needs to remove some of those regulations.